Hello and welcome to Spirit and Life Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Meyer. Good Monday morning to you. I have to first start off by giving thanks to God and then, of course, His people. And today I'd like to thank Young and Richard. Thank you so much for your gifts to help keep Spirit and Life Radio on the air. You know, it's been rather difficult in paying these bills with the amount of donors that we have seen, even more so now with our radio cost increased. We certainly believed with greater expectation for a greater amount of donors. And so I appreciate all of those who have given, and there's only really close to 30 who have given in support of the radio broadcast since its inception. And quite frankly, I look at this as a miracle within itself. We're not sponsored by any big organization out there. I mention this because some of you may be thinking that there's tons of donations coming in and the radio broadcast, well, it's okay, they'll make it, they're still on the air. But there has been a lot of sacrificial giving on my personal end to initially start the radio broadcast and at times keep it on the air. And into the second year of the radio broadcast, I have really placed this program into God's hands. And so this radio broadcast will remain on the air as long as there are those whom the Lord moves upon their heart to give financially in support of it. And I have mentioned this before. I have been invited to come on over 14 FM stations, all in major cities across America, and some 23 AM stations, of which at this time are at a lower cost than what I'm currently paying now with this radio station. Of course, that's per program and an initial starting price. And so I just want to let you know, friends, that as we get closer to the new year, I may be having to make a tough decision of whether or not I will remain on the air here on KARI Radio and shift to these other markets where I believe there is going to be a lot more receptance of the kind of ministry that Spirit and Life Radio happens to be. But it's always been my heart that I would break ground here in the area in which I live in. And so I'd like you to know you're in my prayers. I love you, and I thank you for believing in this ministry, as I do, and supporting it with your gifts to the radio broadcast. And I trust the Lord is watching out for you and this radio broadcast as we pray for one another and persevere. I believe we will see a miracle from God on behalf of our needs. Now, we've been in a series on how we can take the limits off God, and I'd like to finish up today on how we can see God as He truly is. Now, we left off with the Word become flesh, who was Jesus. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we were talking about the centurion. Jesus knew about the centurion and the centurion's fate because he was before the beginning. He made the beginning. He saw Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Elijah, Moses, Daniel, etc. And when he said to the centurion, "There has never been such great faith," in Matthew chapter 8, verse 10, he marveled and said to them that followed, "Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel." He knew what he was talking about. He was coming from the I am position. He always had been, is, and always will be. He was present with every saint down through the ages, and he had seen Abel's faith, Noah's, all the great heroes of the Old Testament. Still, he said, paraphrasing, "I know what I am saying. There has never been any greater demonstration of faith than this centurion has demonstrated." Wow! That is a powerful statement. What was the centurion's demonstration? How could his faith be greater than Abraham's, the father of faith? How could it be greater than Moses' faith or Elijah's? Think about that now for a moment. Here is a man who is completely nameless in the Bible. And yet Jesus said he had greater faith than any of the most revered of the great men named in the Scriptures. How could he even say that? Because the centurion saw Jesus as he truly is. Here he was with a tremendous need to present to Christ. His servant was at home totally paralyzed, incapacitated, totally helpless. Maybe you're in this place today in some way, shape, or form. Like the centurion, cry out to Christ Jesus. He is your only hope. I pray today the Lord would meet you in your circumstance, because the need was tremendous here, just like yours may be. And if the centurion had not seen Jesus Christ as he was, that need never could have been met. Many people see Jesus as a philosopher, as someone with interesting or profound thoughts. They see him as a good man who lived many years ago, who did good works. Some even see him as a prophet, but even that is not enough. You will never be able to break through to miracles with that comprehension or vision of Jesus. You must see Jesus Christ as he truly is, as he really is, more than a philosopher, more than a prophet, but the very Son of God with all power over all the power of the devil. Even people who had been with Jesus, who had seen his miracles, did not perceive him as he was. This is why many are called, but few are chosen. If those who had walked with him daily had been in the same situation that the centurion was in. Remember, in Luke chapter 7 of this account, verse 9, Jesus heard these things. He marveled at him and turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, These followers had seen the mighty miracles, and knowing that Jesus was able to heal the sick, most of them would have said, Please come to my house. Let us, you and me, go together, and when we get there, you can lay hands on him and you can heal him. Now, such a statement would in fact be a statement of faith. They might believe Jesus' presence would heal or his touch. But look at the limitation that even that kind of statement would have placed on Jesus. Can you see it? It would have put the limitation of place on him, the limitation of method, and the limitation of time. All of these three things come out of that statement. And if they added other qualifying statements, such as, you can make him better, or you can help him accept his condition, that would have limited the need. Are you seeing this, my friends? But listen to the centurion's statement of faith that cut Jesus Christ loose to work on his behalf according to his unlimited capability, and caused him to remark on the centurion's faith and understanding. When Jesus offered to go to the centurion's home and heal his servant, the centurion's reply was this in Matthew chapter 8, verse 8. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. What he was saying to Jesus was, when I look at you and I truly see you as you are, I see that it is unnecessary for you to come to my house. Why make that journey? Don't work for me according to my limited ability to understand. Do it according to your own power. Just speak. Stand right here and speak the word, and my servant will be healed. Now, do you see what the centurion did with that one statement? He cut Jesus loose from the limits of time. He cut him loose from the limits of space. He cut him loose from the limits of need. He cut Him loose to work His unlimited work in His own unlimited way. Just like I'm cutting God loose to work in you, to put it on your heart, to give to this ministry, to help it at its urgent time of need. I put my faith and my trust in Him alone. The centurion's sixth sense, as it were, his faith was so acute, so positive, that it took every limit off God and the miracle was done. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have faith like that? Well, you can have it. It is for you and for me. But you say, Pastor Meyer, I've tried to have faith. I have struggled and struggled to get faith. How can I get it? The struggle to achieve faith, to have the sixth sense of inner knowing, is a very real, very perplexing problem that people have. People struggle for years trying to get faith or to work it up, pray it down, etc. And perhaps that has been your experience in the past. If so, let us get that problem settled once and for all, for no amount of struggling on your part will ever produce faith. And in tomorrow's broadcast, we're going to talk about, must we struggle to produce faith? I hope you'll join me then for another exciting teaching here on Spirit and Life Radio. Dear listeners, I'd like to invite you to our Sunday service held at the Chuck Bailey Recreation Center every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. in Surrey Central City. The brand new Chuck Bailey Recreation Center is located just southeast of the Gateway SkyTrain station on University Drive and across from the Wally Athletic Park. If you'd like more information about the church and the ministry, please go to our website at www.surreycitychurch.com. That's surreycitychurch.com. And in doing so, you will also find our donate button at the top of the page. When you click on that, that will take you to our PayPal website. There you can make your tax-deductible donation by using your credit or debit card. Or, if you don't use PayPal, just follow the continue link at the bottom of the page to your left. We hope that you will support your local ministries, reminding you that we are a listener-supported radio broadcast in need of your financial support. And when you give, we're going to send you out our brand new CD, Hyper Grace. We also hope that you're sharing this broadcast with many of your friends. Now, if you don't use the PayPal tool, you can always write to us and send in your donation to Spirit and Life Radio, suite number 491, 7360, 137th Street, Surrey, BC, V3W 1A3. That's suite number 491, 7360, 137th Street, Surrey, V3W 1A3. And on the U.S. side, you can send in your donation to P.O. Box 737, Ferndale, Washington, 98248. P.O. Box 737 in Ferndale, Washington, 98248. Canadians, please make your checks out to Surrey Central City Church. And on the U.S. side, write your checks to Spirit Life Worship Center. Please include Spirit and Life Radio in the memo section of your checks so we may receive all of you properly who give. And we want you to know we appreciate your help in keeping us on the air. It's my sincere prayer that you'll help us today by sending in your tax-deductible donation. All of our information is on our website at surreycitychurch.com. Now remember, friends, it is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life. Spirit Life Radio, your spirit-filled connection.